I arrived at the university 2 minutes before the anticipated arrival time. This, of course, meant I could spend exactly 120 seconds taking in the view that the university so kindly offered to all who could think to stop and admire it. The journey provided only one real problem worth noting, which was, of course, the discourteous gentleman sat opposite me. Though one would refrain from calling him so, there was nothing gentle about him, but that was all taken care of. At last, home. Not a sound, nor a peep. I felt like the Dr. Seuss character. I awoke to a metallic clatter. An orgy of kitchen utensils and appliances. It was 9:08 a.m., and my first day at university had begun in a raucous manner. I edged open the kitchen door to find a large mass hunched over the table. His words were gobbled. His mouth moved, but I didn't dignify what came out with any kind of consideration.
Oh! Guten Tag.
Do I shake it? Who knows where it's been? I am struggling to cope with him with a wall separating us. What would happen were we in the same room? It was incessant. I have no faith in human perfectibility, but this lout proves even mediocrity a challenge. I do believe he hasn't left that kitchen all day. One would think it has to be his bedroom. He was gone. Gone forever. And he wasn't a bad cut either. Of course, there was some fat to cut, but nothing too taxing. I slept so well my dreams had dreams. And today, I woke up to birdsong. I felt invigorated, reborn, full of life. This must be a new roommate. And what a peculiar sound. I should make a good first impression by letting him know his speakers are most definitely broken. I can't imagine myself to have the bad luck of 2 despicable roommates in 2 days. The music sounds the way it does because his speakers are broken, and I'm sure that's why it's so loud too. For the duration of the conversation, however long that may have been, I attempted a smile. The bass echoes through your brain. It filters through your nerves and synapses. It slashes your eardrum with a machete. It tortures for the ears and the mind. I became insane, with long intervals of horrible sanity. The song had no beginning and no end. Could it even be called a song? Is it even plain anymore, or is it all in my mind? A third time lucky, perhaps? What culturally diverse and ideally, aesthetically rich cohabitant has been bestowed upon me? I'm not familiar with this bird song. A pet finch, maybe? At last, an artist! I can be her Caesar. But there's something out of place with this girl. A monstrosity. Sustained a greater insult, and she is not worthy of this. The death of a beautiful woman is unquestionably the most poetic topic in the world, but her most insolent trait, the lack of talent and ambition coupled with the impudent nerve to call herself artiste. Such a beauty couldn't have been wasted, though, and indeed, it will live on. A comforting thought. I couldn't sleep. Not for a second could my eyelids lock together and cast me into dream state. I was steeped in wavering anticipation for the next abject roommate. As God finished having his fun, I felt like Dante descending further and further into the realms of hell. Surely be the worst day of my life. That pleasure, which is at once most pure, the most elevating, and the most intense, is derived, I maintain, from the contemplation of the beautiful. And here, In front of me stands a supreme example. If the Hispanic girl was beautiful, the one that stands before me must be something else entirely. I declare, no poet or wordsmith has yet to find a fitting word to describe this girl. And so let me be the diamonds in the sky. Later that day, I decided to call the physician, albeit I had undergone the single most wonderful day of my life. I had also developed a rather strong ache in my abdomen. I told the dear doctor exactly this. I often felt light-headed. My cheeks ached, and I found myself drifting.
It's love, and there's no cure.
Love. Today was the day I set the gears in motion. Today was the day that in 3,000 days, on our wedding day, we will remember to be the day our relationship first began. I invited her to a home-cooked meal.
Why not a takeaway?
Who remembers what day it was? A week could have passed. Dinosaurs could have returned to roam the earth, and neither of us would have noticed. To be immersed in conversation, in another person, so deeply. Is there a similar feeling? Singularly superlative. Lucy was a girl of culture, sophistication, but overall, she was congenial. That night we finished our meal. I walked Lucy up to her room. We kissed, and we said goodnight. It was a stupendous evening, one that I would happily live on repeat for the rest of my life. However, this precipitated a chain of thoughts that could only end one way. Of course, if it were possible for me to relive that evening over and over, going to sleep and then waking up to the sound of the doorbell for the takeaway, I wouldn't hesitate. But that's beyond reason, beyond consideration and thought. Not even an eternity would satisfy my need to be with Lucy. What would be the next best thing? The boundaries that divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where one ends and where the other begins? We decided to immortalize our love. What she proposed was initially rather barbaric, but after some time, I concede. She was invariably correct in every sense, and very persuasive. I couldn't contest the girl on the idea. She told me her immune system had baffled doctors all her life. She would no doubt outlive me. What we had would live on. My touch, my smell. Of course, she had my sight and sound already. And the best, my taste, which I hope will provide a dainty meal.